of the time, it works every time. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. Be careful, man. There's a beverage here.
I'm gonna go with that.
That's a good catchphrase.
Try a different one.
How about, what's up, pickle sandwiches? Is that pretty good?
I think that's
Are we live?
Yes.
Damn it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Whiskey Cinema. Today we'll be talking about time machines, time traveling movies, all the things that we love. Right now is a great time because on Netflix they have all the Back to the Futures, which is probably the first thing that comes to your mind.
What?
Yep.
That's crazy. I didn't even know. That's why I watched them.
They're great.
I watched them this week, all three of them. I don't know if they're all great, but one of them definitely is. We'll talk about that later.
This episode is brought to you by AEE, All Everything Entertainment. Go to AEE.com. That's hard to say fast. AEE.com and check out all the news. They're letting you in on all the articles and the movie news that's coming out. Like Zack Snyder's getting his cut of Justice League. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that.
No good?
No one can save that movie.
You know what's funny is that sets a precedent now that directors can go like, well, my cut was better. David Ayer's already trying to do it for Suicide Squad, saying, I have my own cut too that's way better. You should fund mine too. I'm like, oh God. Everybody that makes a bad movie now is going to be like, it wasn't me, guys.
Good thing we're not talking about any bad movies today. But also,
okay,
your boy here writes for AE&E.
I do. Yep, that's true.
I realize you've never actually mentioned that. Get a little cocky, brag a little.
Okay.
Talk about how great of a writer you aren't.
You know what's funny? I have a friend that reads it and he highlights it and he's like, you put too many commas here. He's an English teacher.
So when you turn it in, they don't have someone to fix
No,
your
and I've put it on there once, read the article, cool, and I went back and read it, and I put the wrong thing, like the wrong there or something. It drives me crazy.
You don't have spell check.
No. Oh, well, that would help with spell check. It's a different there.
Well, they might. Even they're like, what an idiot. I'll fix it for him.
There's the idiot right there. Also, and on the podcast today, Brandon made us a drink that is called a
flux capacitor. Speaking of Back to the Future.
That's what I brought it up. How do you make a flux capacitor for
with alcohol?
Okay, moving on.
And rum, cherry, rum. I put some pomegranate crap in there. That's right. Lime juice.
Okay.
Sprite.
Let's try this bad boy out here.
And some ice. Don't forget the ice.
That tastes like you should go back in time and fix it.
It's a little sweet. Not my thing, but
also, we are shooting today, which I want to start off with a shot. So I'm a little nervous this episode. I'm gonna get the willies out of the shot, drink a shot of tequila.
Too many Red Bulls.
Red Bull.
What are we shooting?
We're shooting tequila in honor of the great tequila drinkers out there.
Me.
My mom loves tequila.
Oh, that's for your mom then.
Oh my God. I don't know why she likes it. So let's talk about a little bit about time travel movies. We also have a poll up right now. We're talking about our favorite time machines. Time traveling machines? Time machines. Which is what?
You are Steve Ruggles.
I'm getting the willies.
You are. You got the willies. So option number 1, hot tub. Option number 2, the DeLorean.
Back to the Future, great one.
Exactly.
Hot tub time machine.
Hot tub time machine. Number 3 is the phone booth from Bill and Ted.
Wild Stallions.
And then number 4 is for you guys to decide.
Yeah, if you're like, how did you guys forget the pig missile? And I'm like, oh, the pig missile. That was such a good time machine. I forgot about that.
Missile.
I thought Naked Tube would be funny from Terminator. Like, how does he time travel? Like, I don't know. They have to go naked. I know that is a thing.
Maybe their clothes get ripped off during time travel.
You think it's that like rough? Like they're getting pinballs across the walls and just the friction tears their clothes off?
Absolutely. Maybe they're traveling so fast it burns the clothes off their body. Ever think of that? They're like,
no. What I just think is that they wanted Mr. Universe
planet.
naked, and I'm like, I get it. I absolutely get it.
Who hasn't? Who hasn't wanted that? Who doesn't just rewind that part in Terminator 10 times?
So let's get into some of these time travel movies. You guys have some comments and questions, please make them in the chat too. We love to respond to that kind of stuff. I mean, I want to say Back to the Future. Let's mention Terminator. I want to do Terminator.
We did. I thought we already mentioned it.
I'm going to mention it longer. So
that means we're talking about it.
It's a long mention. I like Terminator's time travel because I think it was like the first time that what you did made what already happened. It's not like Back to the Future kind of pairs off, right? Like you can mess up the past and you can go fix it, but he became the dad of the guy he really liked and looked up to and trained him. Like, we back in time, he had sex with Sarah Connor and then had John Connor.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, follow me a little bit better.
Trying to follow you here.
The only problem I don't like is that it doesn't matter in the sequel. Like the one that just came out.
Okay. That is a sequel. I like talking about the second one.
I love the second one.
The second one's great.
So
are we
good.
passing the second one right now?
The whole movies are about saving John Connor, and then they kill him anyways, and then nothing changes. It drives me crazy. I hate that about that. But that was an interesting form of time travel with that one where he goes back and he's naked. He meets Sarah Connor. They fall in love, have the kid. No problems. And he dies anyways.
I mean, everybody's seen it. Everybody's seen the Terminator, all of them, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you guys ignore Terminator Salvation, I don't
There's
blame
8
you.
of them, so...
God, is there?
You know what's more entertaining is watching Christian Bale yell at the guy that messed up the lights. Did you ever hear him yell?
I didn't hear it, but I heard about it.
Oh, you haven't heard it? Oh, my God. You should listen to that right now. Look at this guy, la-di-da, walking around.
I like Christian Bale. I've seen Ford vs. Ferrari. It's a great movie.
Christian Bale's really great.
And you know what? I like the new one. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
Terminator?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Well,
Legion?
I've seen Salvation.
Legion instead of Skynet? It's the same thing.
I know it's the exact same thing.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, aren't the new Star Wars kind of the same thing?
They're
At least
very-
the first one.
They're very much like
And
that.
I love those two.
Okay. Point made for sure.
Isn't Back to the Future 2 just Back to the Future 1?
No, Brandon.
Oh, I
They
heard
go to the-
shit. I saw that in all three of them.
He gets manure like 2 days in a row because he goes back in time, makes him do it like the next night after he fit car.
It does.
That's
Yeah,
so
it's
funny.
the same jokes in that as the first one. I watched them. I had a hard time watching the second one after the first one.
Why?
Because it's the same thing. I might as well just rewatch the first one.
It's your kids, Marty. And they go to the future with Jaws like 55 is playing.
Right,
and
3D. Hey, McFly!
hoverboard and...
Yeah.
Ooh, you have a question, Jordy? Jordy, someone has a question?
Man, audience is going wild.
Jeez.
Man.
This live audience.
Calm down. Laugh
Can you
track's
count
really
for
going off
that was
right
an
now.
audience? Thanks, Jordy.
Now we need to turn that laugh track off, please.
Or turn it up. Actually, that might help us a lot. Yeah, let's go. So that was Terminator. We talked about Back to the Future. Do you want to get in the Back to the Future early on? We're drinking flux capacitors.
Yeah, we can. I mean, it's kind of the main time travel movie.
Yeah, I would have to say so. I mean, time travel is a big deal in Terminator where he has to track him so he doesn't do anything that you can't track in the future. I mean, social media, you get everybody killed. It seems like it'd be so easy to find anyone now. Yeah. He liked a post in 2015.
But what I didn't like about Terminator that Back to the Future had is Arnold wasn't struggling the urge to fuck his mom.
Hey, you know what's funny? Maybe that's the thing, because the guy that tried and traveled back to save, like, Sarah Connor, fucked his mom, fucked John Connor's mom. If you time travel, you might have to fuck moms.
Maybe. But your own mom?
That was so funny. I like in the beginning, too, she says, like, well, make sure she's a good, responsible girl and don't do anything bad and wait till the 4th date. And then you see her in the movie. She's, like, squeezing his leg, taking his clothes off when he's asleep.
That's right. She's drinking and smoking.
Yeah. She's like, I don't mind if we park for a while. I was like, damn, this Uchi.
That's right. You
she's
need
thirsty.
a long while. Yeah. I laughed at that. It's funny, and I get it. You know, his mom's pretty good looking. I don't blame you, Michael J.
Michael J. Fox.
But it is weird. He's all, oh, you are hot. Like, that's your mom. Calm down. Put that boner away.
There's a very funny subplot in Glow, the show, Glorious Ladies of Wrestling on Netflix.
I'm aware.
Okay. Remember Mark Maron? The whole time he's this kind of underrated director, script writer. And he has this movie he's not talking to anyone about. And he sits down with someone like at the end of the first season. He goes like, all right, so mine's about time travel. And the guy's like, oh, I just saw that movie. And he's all, what? He's like, I just saw that movie in the theaters. He's like, no. Mine's about time travel where they go in the past. And he's like, yeah. That's what they do. And then he fucks his mom. And they go, yeah, no, I just saw that movie. He's all, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, no, dude, it's in the theaters right now. It's blowing up. He just throws all his shit. He's furious.
I do remember that. I watched
Oh,
one
it's
season
so
of
funny.
that. I do remember that.
Yeah, I don't know. The third one for me is so hard to watch. And they set it up in the second one. They even have a trailer for the third one in the second one.
Did they have a trailer for the first or second one in the first one?
Do they really?
Yeah, that's how Michael J. Fox knew there was a sequel. He watched the first one, and then that's how they end it with a trailer.
I don't know. Oh, okay. I also want to throw this out there. Do you know that Michael J. Fox was not supposed to play Marty McFly?
Who was? I ask you a question. You take a drink. God damn it! Learn how to do this.
Make worse drinks.
Trust me, I don't think I can actually.
Actually, that's a lie. They wanted him to do it, but he was busy filming Family Ties, which was a TV show he was on. I don't know if you remember.
Never heard of it.
It's great. It's the best show. And Michael J. Fox on it.
I'm aware.
So they got Eric Stoltz to do it. Eric Stoltz was on Glee, and he was also the heroin guy in Pulp Fiction. He's like, you got to stab her in the chest. Stab her 3 times? No, don't stab her. So he was that guy. They filmed half the movie with this guy, and they go, this guy is not good. So they cut him from the movie, and they refilmed half the movie again.
That's fair.
So there's footage of Great Scott, Marty, talking to Eric Stoltz, and him
Maybe we'll
skateboarding and
get
playing
him
guitar.
campaigning to show his version on
Oh.
HBO. My version's better.
I love
It's way
everyone
better.
making terrible movies. Slenderman, let's hear me out. I can make a good
There's
Slenderman.
no such thing
I
as
can
a
make
good
it good.
version of that movie. That movie's dog shit. You got me on a train now. That movie is so fucking bad. If they have 2 versions, just throw the other way, and then find the first one, throw that one away. I need time travel so I can go unwatch that movie. I will shoot my past self in the back of the
You can
head,
pull a
Abe
Deadpool.
Lincoln style.
Well, you mean a theater?
Just, I
Death,
saved you.
death to tyrants. Jordan, we have a question
Yes.
from that audience member. Okay, go ahead.
Does the butterfly effect count?
Ugh.
I think it does. Brandon loves that movie.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't like it.
I liked it because it was, speaking of different time machines, his was reading a journal about past memories that he doesn't recall, and then he travels those memories. It's a little brutal. I remember like you throw a bear trap on a dog in one scene.
Isn't Pulp Fiction guy in that?
Not that I know of.
Isn't he the dad who, Amy Smart's dad?
Oh, I think you're right.
I think I am
Look
right.
at this guy. Pretty good.
Tie-in.
Ashton Kutcher.
See, he does suck at time travel movies.
I'm just saying. Yeah, he never did as well. Yeah, I remember Ashton Kutcher in it. I can't remember the guy that plays his friend. He's also in Daredevil. I think that's the same actor who plays
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Man, he was so good. No, not Ben Affleck. Froggy Nelson.
Oh, that's yes.
I think
that's
that is
right.
him.
He was in Idle Hands,
Hey,
a
see?
movie I loved as a kid. It's about a hand
I
that
don't think
kills
mixing
people.
up 2 soft, pudgy-faced white guys. I'm not sure.
No,
But
it's the same guy.
that movie was, I thought it was good. I love the difference of it. I think they've made like 5, though.
They made a few. I didn't like it. He's coming off of that 70s show. Did a couple movies before that. He's like, oh, you know what? I'm going to grow a beard. I'm going to become a serious actor. And
He grows a beard all patchy.
I'm like, bro, this sucks ass.
Oh,
I'm
speaking
going
of
to
that.
go watch What Happened in Vegas before I watch that.
Oh, God.
You heard me. At least that's got plenty of Zach Galifianakis.
Speaking of beards, I wanted to mention, a friend of mine opened up a business called Deluxe Barber Studio if in the Salt Lake City area. Also, I'm a bald guy. I don't go to barbers. You know what he does? Specializes in bald guys and beards. And he loves to cut the hair of guys. He's a great specialist. So if you're a dude, go check him out. Awesome.
He specializes in bald guys. This isn't a great plug for a hair guy.
Well, no, I've never
He
heard.
specializes in the bald guy.
Well, I've never seen that guy
She
shave
is
a bald
good
head.
at cutting hair, but you know, he
I had,
specializes.
if you say they're bad, you're like, the guys walk out, they're all bald. And he's like, I didn't want this.
You're like, sorry, you came to the bald specialists.
Well, I didn't even know that was a thing. I wasn't sure that.
I'm sure when he went to school, they're like, what do you want to specialize? What kind of hair? Mohawks? Just making people bald. That's it.
They're like,
That's all
usually
I do.
that's a failure. You know what he did? He took a negative, turned to a positive.
Well, they didn't do that to you.
Okay, that's good.
No, your head. So anyway, he does a good job. He does a good job. I'm gonna get my hair cut there soon. And
Yeah, Deluxe Barber Studio in Salt Lake City. Go support him. Awesome guy named Marcus.
72nd and State.
So Butterfly Effect was good. It was dark. Remember, he got his arms and legs blown off once. He wanted to commit suicide, but everyone else was happy, so he didn't want to fix it again because he's like, well, I'm the only bad part. Usually, like, the woman he loved turned like a hooker in one, I remember. And the one guy turned into a psychopath because the dad just, like, abused him. God, you're right. That is Eric Stoltz. It's crazy.
I know I'm right.
Good call.
I have a movie podcast.
If we had a wheel of misfortune or whatever we want to call it, I would spin it and drink a shot in your honor.
One day.
One day.
We'll be able to afford cardboard. Any other questions? Is that it? Is that it for his question?
I do have a question and then a movie that they would like to discuss.
Oh,
Do you remember Timeline? He goes back into time and ends up in like Renaissance time with Paul Walker.
I was gonna say it's Gerard Butler and Paul Walker. I don't remember that well, but
I
watched
do
that
remember
movie.
it. I remember a guy coming back through. I think their time machine was just like an archway, something like that. Kind of Stargate-ish, if I
Obviously,
remember.
it's not that cool if we even make our poll questions.
Losers. But I remember the guy came back like with arrow wounds, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then they get there, and everybody's pretty hostile. Like people kind of romanticize medieval times. Not a great place.
It's because they watched A Knight's Tale.
Princess Bride seems cool.
Exactly. All this shit seems cool.
Anytime
Wrong.
before.
Oh God, Jordan. All right, I know we
She's
brought
just
up
smiling
Princess
and nodding.
Bride.
Please discuss it with another episode, maybe. Yeah, Timeline. I remember not being super impressed by Timeline.
I remember watching. I don't remember that much.
It's very Battlefield Los Angeles like.
Forgettable.
Forgettable.
Callback. If you haven't seen that episode, go watch it. Anything else?
And then 2 movies, Donnie Darko and Looper
All right.
were brought up.
Let's do a
All
quick
right.
one on Donnie and jump into Looper
Because I got all day to talk about some Looper.
So,
Anyway, we're talking about Looper now.
ironically, Jake Gyllenhaal, a little bit of a master of time travel, was in Source Code and in Donnie Darko.
Yes, he perfected it with source code, and he tried hard enough to get mentioned on this podcast in Donnie Darko.
He actually won an Oscar for creepiest bunny mask in that movie.
That's not true. My dad did.
Yeah, that's the weirdest movie. I remember watching it, and you have to watch it like 6 or 7 times. And even the director was asked about it. He's like, "What did it mean?" And he's just like, "I like people's interpretations." And he's like, "What do you think?" He's like, "I don't really know, to be honest." I was like, "Jesus, the director doesn't even get it."
I thought it was an all right movie.
Plane crashing down.
Battle Los Angeles to me, it's forgettable.
I like Donnie Darko.
I've seen it a couple times. I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Well, even if you did remember it, you'd be like, "Oh wait, did that happen before or after?" The plane crashing down, or somebody they're waiting at the bus stop. I can't remember it that well.
And I like source code. I think source code's a little better. You can't go wrong with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal too.
He is an American treasure,
Wow, that high, huh?
according to our producer. She's obsessed. Keeps talking about it nonstop.
Is he the Princess Bride of people? You think?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Like
Wow.
she's like, "Oh man, call yourself Jake Gyllenhaal every now and then." I'm like, "Oh, I'm Jake Gyllenhaal." Yeah, it's crazy.
Cool story. You got
All right,
tell us.
Looper. Looper's what I'm excited to talk about. Bruce Willis,
I'm gonna let you take the helm. Tell us.
Joseph
Explain to
Gordon-Levitt,
people that don't know.
Emily Blunt. Jesus Christ.
Who else?
It's about a man that is just, he has to kill his future self. That's the main plot. His future self wants to come back, though,
Sure.
and kill the guy who wants to kill him in the future.
All right, you're explaining this terribly.
I am. I'm not good at explaining things.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a hitman, and in the
He's called
future,
a looper.
it's so easy to track people that are murdered. They send them back in time so these hitmen can kill them. But the catch-22 is you will eventually kill yourself.
They call that your contract expiring, and they put a bunch of gold on the
They
guy.
close the loop.
Yeah, and you go and cut their jacket open. You see your gold there. You know you're fucked.
You know that you killed yourself. Yeah.
So you go live your life the best you can.
Bruce Willis gets traveled back, realizes in the future it's very different, and there's one guy. Telekinesis in this movie too, which I almost completely forgot
I
about.
call it TK. Everybody floats quarters to impress women.
Yeah,
That's how they bring it up.
it's very hipsterish. They're like, we all thought we'd be getting superheroes, but we get as people that can levitate quarters and shit. It's pretty lame.
Which I saw people bash the movie because, well, you take it superheroes, they can still float shit. It's like, yeah, but if you can float something 3 inches off your hand,
It's not very useful.
what, are you going to chug it really hard?
There's a point where she's like floating a lighter around. The guy's like, wow, that's really good. So it's like, that must be the extent of how powerful people are. So
She's all, I used to go to the bars and hold people's quarters down who said they could do it, and it'd piss them off, and they'd start to bleed, trying so hard.
pop a blood
And
vessel
pop
in
a
her
blood
eye.
vessel. I was like, that's funny.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, to get in the mood for this role too, he on an iPod just listened to Bruce Willis talk
And
for
he watched
weeks
a bunch of his old movies.
to try to get down his mannerisms and everything else.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays young Bruce Willis.
Yep.
So they do some makeup effects and make him look like a young Bruce Willis. And their aneurysms, that's completely wrong.
Mannerisms.
Mannerisms are,
I think you're having an aneurysm.
I might be, to be honest. They're the same. It is really good.
Kind of squinting
watching
and yeah, I thought he did a really good job. I thought the plot was fantastic. Time travel when they can't catch Paul Dano, who's his buddy,
Yeah.
because the older guy escaped. So they let you know how serious it is right away if you don't close the loop. So his future self pops into his friend's thing. He doesn't kill him because the guy's humming a song that his mom used to hum to him. He's like, oh shit, I know that's me.
And he hesitates for a minute, and then the guy books it.
He runs away. And what happened is they catch Paul Dano's character and they just start torturing him. So the guy's running and he sees a scar on his arm just form.
So it's like, be here in 15 minutes.
Like, or else. And he's just like, fuck you guys, I'm going on a plane. This is my life. Runs off and then
he sees
parts of his body parts.
Fingers start missing.
His
He's climbing
nose
the
is
fence.
chopped off.
I wondered why they didn't just kill the guy anyway. You kill the guy, boom, right there. His future self was
that's
dead
true.
anyway. But I was like,
Well,
it was fucking awesome. to
Well, you
watch.
can't kill yourself in the past because then you'll fuck up the future, and that's why the guys hate it. Because whatever he's done in the future past that, he could fuck up the timeline.
Could,
That's why
they ended up doing it anyway. He didn't get there in time.
he was there.
He ran, and then
Because they said, he's like, are you going to kill him if I give him to me? He's like, not if we can help it. He's like, but we got to do a lot of stuff now to catch him.
they fucked up the future by cutting off his nose and his arms and legs.
You're right. Maybe they reattached him.
Yeah. We got a master seamstress.
Yeah, I love Looper. I think it's really underrated.
I do too.
A lot of people haven't seen it. Great performances. Emily Blunt plays a strong mom in it really well, like a farmer.
Yep.
Her son has anger issues, and I don't want to tell you too much about him, but he's pretty powerful, this kid. He matters
Yes.
a lot. He's the Rainmaker.
He's the Rainmaker. He's the guy Bruce Willis is trying to kill. Bruce Willis does kill a couple kids in this.
He's a kid
Spoiler
killer.
alert. It's pretty real. He walks out of a back. You see the kid. You see him walk in. The kid turns around. You see him raise his gun. And then it just shows a street. And then Bruce Willis coming out of the backyard just like, he didn't murder that kid. Jesus.
I'm just saying, man, people talk a lot of game. I'd kill baby Hitler. When you're face to face with a baby Hitler,
He's killing him. He does.
and if you find out the name tags were switched after the deed, you're going to feel pretty silly.
Yeah. It's
I remember Deadpool. I think Deadpool 2 had a joke about that, where he goes back and he sees the baby. He's
like at the end of the
oh,
movie.
it's so hard. It's so hard to do this. It's just a baby now.
And Bruce Willis is in classic movies. Die Hard. We're going to be talking about 12 Monkeys later. Pulp Fiction.
12 Monkeys, another time traveling movie.
But Looper could be my favorite Bruce Willis movie.
Whoa! You love Die Hard.
I'm a big Die Hard. Greatest Christmas
Wow.
movie ever. First,
Is it Christmas though?
Yes, obviously. He's traveling to see his family on Christmas Day. He just has to stop terrorists so he can save.
I
his
think
family.
Bruce Willis said it wasn't a Christmas movie, and then I think the writer said it was. Like, it's
Exactly.
a weird thing.
And I'm going to trust the writers.
You would trust whoever said it was a Christmas movie.
The writers. They wrote the movie. Did they not write the movie?
They wrote it. They're the writers.
But I mean, it was on Flickster given a 93%, which is the same as Die Hard and Moonrise Kingdom.
Moonrise Kingdom, Bill Murray about the
Yeah.
Boy Scouts.
Pulp Fiction was only given 91.
That's
And I
fucked
love
up.
me some Pulp
That's a
Fiction.
great movie.
I love Pulp
Our
Fiction.
producer's not a fan of Pulp Fiction?
No, that was a thumbs up. The light's blinding your eyes. She loves it.
Okay, that must be it.
She also agreed completely that Die Hard is the greatest Christmas movie. She's like, oh, better than The Grinch.
See, I like the Grinch.
I do too. Love it. Both
Die
great
Hard.
movies. But that's where I'm at. Bruce Willis has done some great movies.
Jeff Daniels is also in Looper.
Jeff Daniels is also Ryan Johnson directs this movie. He did Knives Out, Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
New Star Wars movies.
God, it was so good. When he starts talking to him, he's like, what do you want to do? He's like, I'm going to go to France. He's like, nah, go to China. He's like, I'm going to France. He's like, dude, I'm from the future. Go to China. And then it shows him when he's going to the future, like how his life goes after that point. And it shows him in France, like walking around doing stuff. He's like, and then it shows him go to China.
Where he meets the love of his life
That's
finally. And she cleans him up and all that. That's why he wants to stop the Rainmaker, because he finally found love.
Well, they killed his wife when they came to abduct him, and he fucking lost his shit. Because I think he was kind of reserved to like, fuck, I'm going to die. This sucks. But then when they killed his wife, he's like, no, you know what? They already sent me in the past to get killed by this guy. I'm going to find it. I'm going to stop it. So his whole motivation is to save his wife. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's motivation is to save the kid he's going to kill. So they're fighting against like past and future self. It's an interesting movie. Time travel done really well. The only part that I didn't care for as much is at the ending where he tops himself off, I'll say.
Yeah, he pours himself a nice full glass
Yeah,
of
that's what he
whiskey.
I was like, if you know you're going to make mistakes in the future, just don't make them.
Yeah, well, you can't. He's got to stop his future self. That's the problem. I get it.
turns
but
into him.
I actually really liked it. The
Okay.
ending. I didn't mind it. I get. You can dive into every one of these goddamn travel movies.
We will.
Time travel movies.
We
and
have
talk
the
about how
time.
talk about how there's loopholes and all that crap. But
I like that we talked about timeline for 6 seconds, but Looper, we're like, let's make a Looper episode. I could do a Looper episode.
we could. Anyway, more about Looper. I do love the movie. Our producer is talking about Die Hard some more, but I wanted to stop.
Go ahead.
What is the comment?
This is the glass scene where he walks barefoot. All right, so this is why that was awesome. Oh,
Yippee-ki-yay.
Austin Burnett says that Die Hard is definitely the best Christmas movie.
Woo!
man.
And then we had a couple other movies brought up. Frequency, The Jacket,
The Jacket?
Happy Death Day,
Okay.
Click,
Ooh, Click.
and Brandon Burnett really likes the way that they wrapped up Men in Black 3.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? Yes. I
very
like
good.
Men in Black 3.
I want to go to
That movie
Jacket
got shit on.
and say, awesome comment. We'll move on to another movie. I don't know what Jacket is.
Oh, those are things you wear during the winter.
You got a pencil?
Um,
I only know the Full Metal kind. That's the only movie I know. Jacket.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Click, where it's got Christopher Walken. Ah, my wife. She's so hot. He just loves Kate Beckinsale the entire movie.
That's right. About a guy who uses the remote, and then he fast forwards, and it picks up his habits, and then fast
The
forwards.
girl runs in slow motion. I remember that being on every trailer. Like, they're like, check out this scene.
I remember that being on every TV in my house for years straight.
Remember the shitty redhead? I think that was like the neighbor that kept fucking.
He
with
wasn't O'Doyle?
No. Not from Billy Madison.
That's the name of the family.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's a callback.
Man,
there,
that's
you dipshit.
awesome. And they're redheads. That makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. He's like, I got this. And he's like, oh yeah, well, I got a drone or whatever. And he's just a shitty kid. And then he runs it over to my drone. Or it's a
Drops-
robotic dog, huh?
I think so. He
Or a
drops
cat.
the ball. You know,
I'm a
Adam
time
Sandler's
traveler,
kid. So
of
Adam
course.
Sandler pauses it right when his kid throws it and moves the O'Doyle's kid's glove.
My wife,
and
I'd like
hits
to
him in
bang
the
her.
face.
You know the scene with Henry Winkler when he showed him the magic trick? I remember actually going like, oh, that's heartbreaking. Where he just yells at him. He's like, I know what trick's done. I've always known.
Oh, man, right? That is, who cares? Happy Death Day. I mean, there's a few of those types of movies. Groundhog Day is the same thing, where they keep coming back to life and reliving the same day.
Yeah.
Happy Death Day has a cool twist because she keeps dying and she's trying to find her murderer. I squeaked there a little
Also,
bit.
she's in a walk of shame at the beginning. I think that's like a really cool. It's essentially Groundhog Day, but not a comedy, a horror with jokes
That's
in
exactly what I said. Jesus Christ.
it. You know what we'll do? We'll refilm this up. We'll go back in time.
And get you out of this podcast. God. Eames, I hope you're ready every Sunday, man. We film. I'm going to need a co-host.
Another co-host, you meant to say. Fix that in editing, Jordy. I liked Happy Death Day more than I thought I would. I thought it was very well done. Happy Death Day 2, I felt like it was a money grab a little bit, but
It's Back to the Future too. The exact same thing.
How about we
I
hold
liked
his
them
hand and it
both.
was see-through?
Yeah, I liked them both. They're good. Yeah, they're definitely good.
Click, Jacket. What was the other two? Jordy, do you remember?
And then Black 3, which
Oh.
I said was really good.
And Frequency.
I liked it.
which you guys talked about.
Did we talk about Frequency? I think that's the one with John Wick in it. Keanu Reeves. And then he's with, is it Sandra Bullock, I believe?
No, that's the
No.
lake. That's the lake.
That's another time travel movie. The Frequency, I think, is of Radio Where You Hear His Dead Dad.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's got Dennis Quaid, Jim
Caviezel.
Caviezel,
He played
Sean
Christ.
Doyle. Oh, good.
He did. Everyone jokes. He's like, guy initials JC played Jesus Christ. Is he really Jesus?
I think he is. Frequency. I don't remember that movie as well, but I did.
So I'm gonna let you guys in on something.
Ooh.
This is an inside scoop. Usually, we only let people that did our. I'm trying to think. It's not Patreon. What's it called? Like where people pay to get behind the scenes thing.
Patreon?
Patreon.
Pay us!
Brandon hates Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, he ain't wrong.
He hates him. He's not a fan of Kevin Costner. I'm gonna turn him around on that one. It's hard to defend Dennis Quaid. It's kind of hard.
He's the worst part in every movie he's in.
He was in Goliath the last season with Billy Bob Thornton, where he plays a lawyer, and I mean, Billy Bob Thornton. It's a great series. Dennis Quaid is very Dennis Quaid-ish in it.
Garbage.
He has a good part. He plays a guy that runs an Indian casino, and he's doing shitty things behind the scenes. Man, he can't own up to it. He can't handle it.
He can't act, is what he's saying. He's not good.
He's good looking.
Nope.
All right, you hate him that much.
He's about as good looking as his acting is good. It's not.
Jesus, that was rude.
Not good. The worst part in every
he
movie
has
is
children,
Dennis
man.
Oh man, I hope they grow up to not see any of his movies.
Yeah, Frequency, Click. Oh, Men in Black 3. So Josh Brolin, it's the same kind of idea where he plays the past version of Tommy Lee Jones.
He does great too.
Will
He
Smith.
does great.
I was kind of burnt out from the Men in Blacks. I haven't even seen the one with Chris Hemsworth.
No one has.
I mean, I like Chris
That
Hemsworth.
movie bombed in theaters. It probably bombed on DVD sales. It's bombing on renting.
That movie's so shit. I walked out of my own house when it came on the TV.
I'm sure it will be. I'll probably watch it one day. Though.
I did like Men in Black 3. I like the tie-ins. I like the guy that played the bad guy, which is What We Do in the Shadows.
He's the crab from Moana.
And he's the crab. Is that really what you're giving him powers to? I can't remember his name. Super hilarious. Flight of the Conchords. I mean, he's awesome. He was also in Dinner with Schmucks. He was the only good part of that movie.
So shiny.
I think, what's the name of the guy? Big guy from Hangover.
Zach Galifianakis?
Galifianakis. That's a crazy name.
It's a great name.
This is a good drink, though, is what this is.
Well, you don't have to lie to me. It's not that great of a drink.
I'm drinking it.
Make it at home and try it for yourself.
By the way, I love that you guys called out Brandon last week because he didn't finish his drink.
Yeah,
Brandon
fuck
has
off.
notoriously always beat me on drinking his drink. And the one time he does it, you guys bust him was
Refills?
hilarious.
I mean, I don't know. It's fine with me. I still finished it. I ain't a bitch.
But anyway, Tommy Lee Jones was awesome in that. Will Smith, anything Will Smith, how could you not like?
I've seen his newer shit.
Which ones? Tell me one that you
After
watched
Earth?
that's terrible. Oh, well, that's your fault for watching it.
But it's terrible. You said, name one that's terrible. I did. Anyway,
I blame that on him bringing his kid in there.
I don't know. Did he bring his kid in Gemini Man?
Gemini Man, not a bad plot. I think Ang Lee did it, but yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, there were some awesome action scenes in it, but you're like, there's a lot of problems.
Hey, everybody's got shitty movies.
When we do our clone episode, we'll definitely talk about Gemini Man.
Clone episode, huh?
Yeah,
All right. I guess we're talking Clone Wars.
yeah, we are.
What were
Men
we-
in Black 3 was
Yeah, that's
good.
right. Men in Black 3.
We talked about Bruce Willis. Let's get into 12 Monkeys.
I like that there's 12 of them.
Great input.
Bruce Willis bad. Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt when he's young too. That movie was in the 90s.
So I've constantly said Brad Pitt is not a good actor only because his role is always he's just the coolest guy in the room.
Hey, I understand, Brad. I do. BP
How do you relate to this?
of this podcast.
You're not the coolest guy if you're in an
I'm
outhouse
the
by
coolest
yourself.
guy in this room right now.
Really?
Our producer's a woman.
Thank
You
you.
fuck.
What?
I know she's obsessed with Princess
I
Bride
don't assume
and Die
gender.
Hard.
I don't assume gender.
You know what? That's fair. You can't these days.
I liked 12 Monkeys way more than I thought I would after rewatching. Kind of the same thing you did. I think they used to put on like USA Today to kind of show you to watch if you played hooky. And they play like Con Air. They play a lot.
Oh, we
Face
know
Off.
you love Con Air.
I don't.
You love Con Air.
You
As
know what?
much
The
as our
director should come
producer
out and
likes.
say, "I'm not remaking this because it's god awful, and you
You
deserve
can't
it."
remake classics sometimes. You just can't.
I
They
think-
tried to do
The
it with
cast-
Ghostbusters. Look what
Oh,
happened.
God. They're redoing that one as well. They're doing another Ghostbusters.
I know it's coming out soon. I actually want to see it.
um,
Well, because it can't end on a sour note. Just like John
Oh.
Carpenter, he had to remake Halloween or start doing Halloween again because he hated Rob Zombies.
okay, fair enough.
He didn't want it to end that way.
He's like, dude, stop shitting over my legacy.
That's pretty much what he said. I'm gonna make some Halloween movies. That's how I'm gonna die. With good Halloween movies out there.
I know he's like 70 when he came back. I think his name's George Scott. I might be wrong. George Miller. Boom.
Great Scott.
I want to talk about 12 Monkeys. I was talking about Brad Pitt. He's the coolest guy in the room all the time. He's eating in a lot of his scenes. I don't think it's that hard. I think he probably is the coolest guy in most rooms he's in. In this movie, acting chops. Crushed it. He plays an insane person. He went and talked to a psychiatrist in Philadelphia for like 3 months to get an idea of how to play a bipolar person. Crushed it. He did
I
awesome.
think his Oscar would disagree with you.
He got an Oscar nomination for this movie, his first one ever.
See?
And he didn't have
I'm
to
talking
wear.
about his Oscar win just recently.
That was a farce. He should not have won that.
Well, I guess his Oscar disagrees with you.
I mean, if you're in a race against legless people and you win, I guess you win a race.
You won. You won it. You'd still lose.
I get tuckered easily.
Hey, I can't judge. I got winded standing today.
uh,
You even asked me while my brother went, Dude, I stood up.
That's
I don't know.
it's a Kevin James joke back when he did comedies, and he said, "He's like, when you're out of shape, people just constantly ask you why. Like they're like, why are you out of breath, man? Are you doing jumping jacks?" He's like, jumping jacks? I mean, it's peeling an orange. Bruce Willis wanted this role very badly. He was stuck in our producer Jordy's favorite roles, which were action roles. He's doing Die Hards and movies like that. He wanted to show off his acting chops, so he really wanted to do this role. So he took a pay cut to do it. He said he'd shave his head for the role, which was his idea, and he crushed it. I mean, I think it's, if you haven't seen it, definitely try it out. And it's, I don't know a good word for like a cyclical movie. Like time is now. Nothing changes. If you were a kid and saw this guy get shot, no matter what you do, he will get shot. If you try to jump in the front of a bullet, you'll get hit by a car before you get there.
It's like Final Destination. One way or another, you will die.
Yes.
So it's kind of like that. I'm not saying it's exactly like it, but death has a way of finding you.
Yeah.
Boom.
By the way, I think of Final Destination every time I get behind a logging truck, I'm like, fuck no.
Anybody with anything too long on their truck, I'm like, I gotta get over it.
Yeah.
Fuck this. I ain't dying today.
No.
You ain't catching me today, Death.
I don't know. I see you running red lights for the cops. I know
I
you're
have
fearless.
eggs in my truck, man.
You don't.
Eggs,
He
man.
says it every time. You do not.
Eggs.
Right from the cop. I was like,
breakfast.
fuck. And he's just like, what do you want me to do? I was like, not.
I will tell him I have eggs. He's like, oh, how many? I'm like, there's like 15 dozen. I eat a lot of scrambled eggs. I'm making my wife some omelets, some breakfast in bed. I had to get home.
You're free to go,
morning.
white guy.
Exactly. I have that going for me.
Isn't that funny? That's the way to get up and take of your white guy. I have eggs. He's like, I'm sorry, wasting your time.
Yeah. I have eggs. Sir, you're black. No, you don't.
If you're black, he's like, I saw you walk in your car. Were you going to speed? 12 Monkeys I really liked. Some great performances in it. Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt carry the show. He goes back in time to stop a plague from coming out. Sounds familiar?
Oh, that's me trying to stop Slender Man.
But he goes back and they go like, oh, you're nuts. You're crazy. Because I like the time travel in this because it fucks your brain up. So they're not sitting scientists to go back in time like, what prisoners are on death row? We'll take that guinea pig, that one, and we'll take Bruce Willis. So when he comes back, he's a drooling fool. They arrest him. He keeps talking about the future. They throw him in a insane asylum. Very Terminator 2-ish. And when he gets there, he talks to Brad Pitt. He's like all wily, like, yeah, and his eyes off and his eyeball. And he's like, that's what they want to do, man. They're not listening. Like, he's very animated. And he tells them all about the virus that's going to happen in, like,
say it's
6
his
years.
best role ever?
I might, actually.
I can't think of all the Brad Pitt movies on the top of my head.
I mean, Fight Club is amazing.
Oh, it's not better than Fight Club.
It's
not better.
I don't know. His performance, is the movie better? I don't think so. Is his performance better?
No.
It might be.
His performance is perfect. The movie's flawless. Just like Princess Bride. I get it, Jordy.
Yeah, I really like 12 Monkeys. Definitely check that out. He kind of makes the whole, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. He goes to an insane asylum talking about this thing. Brad Pitt hears about it, goes like, that's a great idea. Gets out, starts working on it, supposedly. And he's like, fuck, did I start this? Nobody had the idea until I mentioned this fucking kid. So it's so funny. He keeps going back in time and doing these things and these trials. And it's a great movie. Check out 12 Monkeys. Sadly, I think you have to rent it. I had to rent it. I couldn't find out nothing. Like,
Hey, that's a business expense.
tax write-off?
I think that's how taxes work, right? You just write off.
Just write it off.
You just put off.
Remember the Seinfeld bit? He's like, you know what write-off is? He's like, no, but they do. And they write it off.
That's where I'm at. I don't know what it is. I know things are a business expense, so I say that for everything.
Can't wait till we do our strippers episode.
I had to do a lot of studying. Why is Brandon late? He's still studying. for
Magic
this
Mike episode, we're just sitting there like, God, this is great. Where's the
I
guy
ain't
strippers?
disappointed.
Chippendales?
I can't go to a gas station and think about a gas station the same way.
I got his bow tie.
12 Monkeys, you really like. I don't remember it as
Right.
much. I didn't rent it.
Okay.
Thought I remembered it more than I did, but I don't.
No problem. I watched it recently because I care. And really liked it. Fantastic. The girl in it, too. It's weird, like, she changes her hair color, and they show her the entire movie in a flashback. You don't realize it's her just because I'd be a terrible bounty hunter.
That is Madeline Stowe, by the way.
I only know
I didn't even write that down.
Boston Legal's the only thing I can remember her playing a good part in. I mean, you might not have seen it. James
She's in
Spader.
Schindler's List. I didn't know what Boston Legal is.
Take it easy, man. We're
Michael
being
J.
filmed.
Fox ended up taking it on that,
Take it
didn't he?
easy. No, that's Spin City, Art.
Oh, that is Spin City with Charlie Sheen at one point.
Yeah, great suggestion.
Oh, I remember.
Check it out.
I know Boston Legal now. Show was garbage. We talked about it a little bit. I want to bring up Source Code a little bit more.
Please.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Vera Farmiga, who you know from Up in the Air, Bates Motel, the TV
The
show.
Departed.
The Departed.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking right now. I think you guys just have the drugs. And the cat pack.
Michelle Monaghan and Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright, you know, from Westworld, The Hunger Games, Manchurian Candidate. Some of those.
Okay.
Great movie. It's about a guy serving in the military. He's in this machine, and it's kind of like a Happy Death Day or a Groundhog Day. He keeps getting sent back to this train.
To the same day.
To the same day.
Okay.
And he has to find the bomb and the bomber.
Sounds like a board game almost.
A little bit. Kind of Clue-ish.
Yeah.
It was him in the bathroom with the bomb.
He blew up the caboose.
So he keeps getting put back in the train after he dies, whatever. First time he doesn't know what he's doing there. And finally he talks to Vera Farmiga's character, and she kind of works it out with him. But he just keeps going back to this train and trying to solve it, but he's someone else completely.
At what point, sorry to interrupt you, at what point does he fuck his mom in this time traveling movie?
Halfway through, he's
Okay.
like, Ma? Yeah.
Ma?
Man, things are getting heavy.
It's getting heavy. Great Scott, Marty.
But it's a really good movie, really well done. Jake Gyllenhaal's great. I really like, I don't know if I'm actually saying her name right, Vera Farmiga.
I think you're crushing it. And
I think
it's not
so,
your fault
too.
she has a crazy name.
And Michelle Monaghan is really good on this too, who plays opposite Jake Gyllenhaal, who she has to pretend like he's someone else, which sucks. She finally gets to be in a movie with the greatest of all time. And she's like, I have to pretend you're someone else.
I don't know what that means exactly. Don't you always have to pretend
When
someone
he
else?
travels back in time, he's supposed to look like someone completely different.
Oh, he's
When
jumping into
on the
different
bus,
bodies.
He's jumping into a different body.
So he's quantum leaping it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
He's doing that. So when he looks in the mirror
Mm.
or gets his picture taken,
Scott Bakula in that
he's
shit.
not Jake Gyllenhaal, the most handsome guy ever.
Okay.
I think his name's Scott in the movie.
Great Scott, I believe.
Great Scott. Not that great looking Scott.
I can't stop saying Marty in the stupid voice. Jeez, Doc. This is crazy.
Jeez, Doc. But yeah, I really like Source Code. Definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it. It's kind of an underrated movie.
Source Code? Actually, pretty high rated time traveling movie. I was
It
surprised.
is. I can tell you exactly what it is without even looking at the notes. 92%.
Jesus Christ. Dude, they're giving time traveling movies like a huge bump.
Looper was 93.
Fuck. Dude, you know what? I don't know how much money they made though. So maybe that's the trade off. Like you want to be liked by audiences, but make no money, make a time traveling movie.
Back to the Future was 96. Highest rated one that I found.
Dude, made by Spielberg. Can you imagine making half a movie and the guy going, "Hey, can I reshoot this first half? I didn't like it," and also you're out.
The second one was only 65.
Yeah,
The third one was 80.
no way. The Western one?
Absolutely. Because the
Jesus
third one
Christ.
was better. Because it's not the exact same thing. Kind of is. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Pretty close.
He still falls into manure. Every movie, there's one consistent you can count on.
Nobody
Him
calls
and
me
manure.
chicken.
That's right. Instead of the chicken, they
The
call him
only
yellow.
part that I didn't like, that I thought was kind of fucked up, is he plays the Johnny B. Good song. And while he's doing that, the guy's like, "Hey, man, listen to this new song." So it's like, oh, so you're not taking the credit away from this black singer that made it up? That's fucked up that you're like, he didn't make that up. He stole it from this white guy. I was like, that's kind of fucked. Give him the credit.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Maybe that's one of those time periods. Oh, I want to tell you about this Back Future. They only recently found this out. This is how fucking smart this movie was. When they go to the mall, it's called Twin Pine Mall because it started on where there was two giant trees. They only recently found this out, which is crazy. The movie's like 40 years old. When they time travel, when they come back, they run over one of these two really small trees. So when they come back to the future, they call it Lone Pine Mall because there's not two trees anymore.
Fine. Well, that's funny. I
They
didn't know
never
that.
mention it. It's just on a sign in the background. I was like, fuck, that is some detailed shit.
Yeah, I brought that to everybody's attention. I put that on Reddit.
You did not. It was not.
Yeah,
you.
did you not Reddit?
Okay. These drinks are hitting us pretty sharp right now.
They are.
You're talking about source code, talking about Back to the Future. Jordy, we have a question. A lot of questions. You have questions?
No, you good?
That hurt my feelings.
Let's talk about Army of Darkness. That always brings people
Oh
up.
man, so it will bring me up. I love Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi. It's set in the medieval times. Time lapse fucked up. What they should have done is just make a sequel to Army of Darkness and have Bruce Campbell back.
Here's what they should have done: is not made any Evil Deads and just started an Army of Darkness.
Which would have made sense. Well, the Evil Deads are such different movies.
Yeah,
Like that one's so much slapstick and silly, and he has many hymns going around.
The other ones are so silly too. They're trying to be serious horror movies. They're not.
I don't know. There's some gruesome scenes in those movies. I remember when they dig the pencil into the heel, and you watch them like, oh God. That was fine with you?
Yeah, it was fine.
Oh, you're tough.
Don't talk about someone getting paper cut though. I will cringe and walk out of this podcast.
With
That's
construction paper
disgusting.
across the mouth.
What did I just say?
Okay, well, no, sorry. I really liked Army of Darkness.
I loved
Duke
it.
Nukem has a lot of his catchphrase, groovy. Give me some sugar, baby. All these are like one-liners he says. He fights in a pit with like a mutant in it.
It's like an evil witch thing.
Chainsaw arm. This is my
And a
boomstick.
broomstick. Yeah.
Shop smart, shop S smart. I did that line. Used to do theater when I was a kid. Bad at sports. And I did that monologue where he talks to the audience members. Where he goes, "Listen up, you primitive screwheads." And he does that whole line.
How'd that go?
I
Did it go over really well?
Yeah, I got to watch the play in the seats.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I really like Army of Darkness, but that's just fun. Klaatu Barada necktie, where you can't remember the things. I got it. I don't need the
He
words.
drinks
again.
boiling hot water because all of his little mini selves crawl down his mouth.
Oh yeah, and the other one grows out of his neck, and there's two of them. There's an evil one.
I didn't say it was the most genius movie,
I'm bad
but it is. It's a great movie.
Love that movie.
One of my favorites.
So crazy. Also, there's an alternate ending to that movie.
Oh, tell me how it ends.
I think.
Don't spoil it.
Oh right.
All right. Our producer's just hounding us to give us more comments.
I just asked Jordy. This is embarrassing.
Well, it's because I didn't ask.
Oh, good.
All right, stop watching Princess Bride and tell us what the comments are.
I
Hello.
have just a question. It's not a movie, but what about Doctor Who?
Yep, Doctor Who traveling around in his. Man, they're gonna kill me because I can't remember the name of it.
Potato.
In his potato mobile. Do you remember what it's called?
Is that the phone booth one?
Yeah. Oh, we're all striking out. This is terrible news. We're not going to do well.
Oh, I've never watched it. I thought you were talking about the phone booth.
It is a phone booth. They have a specific name for it. Manager crushes. That's okay.
Oh,
Uh, Yeah, Doctor Who, time traveling around. The longest running series ever. So smart to make the main character interchangeable so that they can
Right.
keep it going for
James
60
Bond
years.
did it, and they've been going for 50.
Yep.
So, I mean, your longest running movies do it.
Plus, a lot of your favorite actors that you've seen in other stuff got their start, like British actors. David Tennant is on there, who, if you guys don't recognize the name, he was in Harry Potter. He also played the bad guy in
The TARDIS.
The TARDIS. I should remember that. I'm seeing next to one.
That sounds TARDIS.
Very great.
Listen, I won't lie. I tried watching Doctor Who once. Emphasis on tried.
Really? Not your bit?
I went to Comic-Con. I saw everybody. I was like, all right, I guess I got to bite the bullet. Watch me some Doctor Who. I watched it. I was the full way through. Meh.
This is how much I love the idea of it, because it's been going on so long. David Tennant, when he was a kid, like 10 years old, was the president of the fan club for Doctor Who. He then went on to say in his high school yearbook, I'm going to play Doctor Who someday. They went on and did it.
What?
That's what I was leading up to. So I thought it was.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, and he
And-
watched every episode.
And then he raised a small leopard as a pet.
I believe that. He's a weird guy.
Very cool, though. Yeah, I forgot about that. Can't forget about. Oh, also about the movies that repeat the same day. Edge of Tomorrow. We got to talk about the Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt one.
Oh, speaking of Emily Blunt, right? Looper. Looper's
another
better.
time. These
Watch
people
Looper.
like get a niche. A Quiet Place 2. They travel back in time
They do.
in flashbacks.
To save John Krasinski, I hope.
What's his name?
John Krasinski.
I'm sorry?
Krasinski.
One more time?
Krasinski.
That's definitely him.
Drawn.
Drawn now. You didn't like this.
You know what? I was stalling because we have questions and comments.
Good.
Just flowing in.
Good stalling. All right, question. Go ahead.
Um,
If we get hate mail from Drawn Krasinski, I'm going to be very upset with you.
Maybe we'll get hate mail from Michael Scarn. That's a joke you don't get, but maybe Zach will? Zach?
Ah? Okay,
All right.
next question.
question from Chrissy Holdsworth.
Who? Never. I should just say no relation anytime that comes up.
I
No, really.
probably mispronounced the last name. You're right.
It's Chrissy now is single.
How many tears did you eventually shed in Endgame when it involved time travel?
Oh, Endgame too.
And Endgame, she did mention as a time travel.
It is a time travel movie, absolutely. All right, I think so. Because they go to different. They fuck up the past, changes the future. I mean, Captain America just lives in the '60s forever. For sure, it's a time travel movie. I didn't cry at Endgame, but it was very good. I thought.
You cried.
I know
Me?
You both cried.
I didn't cry.
Me, him, me,
Great
me,
shirt.
me, him. No, I didn't cry at Endgame, but I was emotional. It was well done. There's like 5 or 6 scenes that were going on. I like them going to the cliff and deciding who has to sacrifice themselves. They're both trying to do it. I mean, that was an awesome scene. I wouldn't mind rewatching.
So I thought it was sad. Thanos didn't win. Like, God, get rid of half the people. Like, what's wrong with that?
I mean,
Boo-hoo, you're gone. I have no traffic now.
boo-hoo, you're gone.
Like, oh, you took one for the team. Thank you. Thank you. Hashtag Thanos is the real hero.
You know what? There is a Reddit thread about the Thanos thing. Like people saying it's a good idea, actually, that if he did this to solve hunger and all sorts of stuff. Also, I thought, why don't you just double the resources?
Yeah, that's everybody's argument. But why don't they double the money?
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, in real life. Because there's not enough, they say.
They say. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Oh, and that Reddit thread, at the end of it, they go like, well, we're doing the snap to see if you guys really believe in this. So everybody joined this thing. It got a huge amount of followers.
Oh, I remember this.
And then they snapped, and then they got rid of half. I had a friend who
Left.
did it, and I was like, what happened? He's like, I was snapped. It was great.
People who aren't are bummed. Like, I'm still in this. I only liked it so I could leave.
Plus, the year gap changed, and they come back, and some people are that much older and younger. Very interesting change that they did.
Some people are still in high school. Some people are out of high school.
So people have to.
Spider-Man.
I know it's crazy.
I admit I loved Endgame. I loved it. There's not much
Very
Marvel
good.
does wrong.
You know what? You never hear Marvel movies don't have to remake shit because they come out good. What's up, DC guys?
Boom. They don't need 3 director's cuts. They need 1 because they hire good directors.
I guess you know. So
Well, they could remake Iron Man 3. Are you
so
ready?
there's
Tie
a-
in Guy Pearce. But we'll tie it in after this comment.
Your segues are getting strong.
The Flash using time travel with the Speedverse is cool. It's a
Yeah.
comment by Daniel Bakley.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to give credit where credit is due. DC movies, you're still learning the ropes. DC animated movies, they crush it.
What about WB's DC shows?
Actually, I have a timer for that. I'll get to it in a second. There's a great one called Flashpoint where Flash goes back in time and fucks up something. So Batman, when he was a kid, he got killed and the 2 parents lived. So his dad becomes Batman, a doctor, and he's brutal. He tortures people with like medical instruments.
I did watch this.
His mom goes crazy and turns into the joke because she watched her son die. And there's a bunch of different other things going on. But him running so fast and you time travel, that's so risky. Like, you have to make
Right?
it
What if you run into something? Or run out of breath? I already ran out of breath just thinking about it, man.
Oh, there's a villain, I think called like the Trickster. And one of his plans to kill the Flash was he's like, I'm going to put marbles on the ground and then spikes on the wall. Everyone's like, shut up.
All right, we're obviously killing it. Our fans just want more. So if you could put down Princess Bride again, I'm sorry.
Inconceivable.
What else we got?
Never get into a land.
Let's
Oh,
just clear this up. I don't.
Oh, we have an
Oh,
audible problem.
question.
Oh my goodness.
edit that part out yourself.
Austin Burnett is questioning your no remakes for the Marvel community. Any questions? Spider-Man.
Ooh, which one? The first one?
Exactly.
2.
So here's the thing. That was Fox.
Oh, you know what? We're not doing remakes. He talking straight reboots, and Spider-Man's been done a couple of
It has,
times.
though. Daredevil needs to be redone. They could redo that.
Ah, the series was great, though. I mean, just go to the series. John
They're
Bernthal?
recasting all the X-Men.
Oh, yeah. So you're talking about AEE earlier, alleverythingentertainment.com. I wrote an article because I saw this cool information. So in the next Doctor
You write
Strange...
articles? You should mention that more on the podcast.
I can't do this right now. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I got me a source that says that he's going to go to a multiverse where the Fantastic Four and X-Men exist, and they're going to bring that into the Marvel Universe in Doctor
Oh
Strange 2.
shit! You heard it
2021.
here first. If you didn't read it on
I got me a
AE,
source. Very reliable source. Dude. He knew that Chris Hemsworth was going to be fat in the last Avengers. He knew a bunch of weird little fun things like that. So, which is like
Fat Thor. is
hard to
funny shit.
guess. You
That's
know,
great shit.
that was cool. Yeah, you're right though about Spider-Man. You're right.
You're right.
They don't need director's cuts, but they do just redo the whole fucking thing.
That's because they're like, we didn't hire the right director. New director, new movie.
Uncle Ben's got to die again, I guess.
Ah, poor Uncle Ben. My tie-in from earlier,
Okay.
Iron Man 3.
Yep.
He was also in The Time Machine.
Guy Pearce, who's on lockdown right now, a great movie that's killing on Netflix. Everyone's talking about a sci-fi movie, very funny. I'm not done. And
Not great.
not finished. And
Decent.
You have to get past. There's a
The
terrible
bad parts and get to the credits.
You have a terribly edited and animated motorcycle chase scene. It looks like a side-scroller video game. You have to get.
If you
through
guys
it.
have seen that but not Looper, you are living your life wrong.
I think Looper's on Amazon. No, it's on. I watched.
It's on DVD at my house.
Nice.
Come
It's on the
borrow it,
Roku
friends.
channel. Right, so.
That's right.
Guy Pearce, Time Machine.
That movie's garbage.
Oh,
So shitty.
what about the old one, the classic?
I never saw the classic. I never saw the 1969 version.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw it. I won't now that I've seen this version.
That's also a cyclical movie. I don't interrupt you too bad.
It's just a sick movie.
sick
It's
with it,
garbage.
dog. So
Definitely
sick
not.
with it. Guy Pearce crushing it.
Mm-mm.
Got some Eloys and
How does
Warlocks.
he even get movies after that? Like, is Guy Pearce a good actor?
Dude, I loved him in Lockout.
You can't even remember what the movie name is.
It's a good drink.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fluster
Memento?
Bastard.
Good in that.
Good. Yep, Memento. Great. He
Because
plays
he-
a lot of bad guys.
He can play a guy who forgets, and he's trying hard to forget his movies.
This is something I liked in Time Machine.
The ending,
No,
when
So-
the credits start.
it's a romantic movie. He goes back in time to save his wife. 'Cause I think his wife dies from, is it a mugger?
Yeah, he proposes. Guys listening, he's like, "Oh, I heard all of that's romantic. Give me the ring. Shoot, 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 shoot."
He does too. He shoots him.
He shoots him hard.
And he devotes his life to time travel to go back and save her. But it's a paradox. If you devoted your life to a time machine to save her, and then you go back and save her, you're not going to make a time machine because you spend your life with her instead of making a time machine. He watched her die like 20 times in funny ways. I think she got hit by a horse carriage. So once he did this, there's no way for him to save her because he has to devote the rest of his life to make his time machine to go back and save her. And if she doesn't die, he won't do it. So it's a very different way. And you got to talk about the Eloys and Morlocks a little bit.
I don't gotta talk about shit.
I'll talk about it a little bit.
So this movie was made in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like it was made in '93.
Okay.
Those Murlocs, is that what you call them?
Morlocks.
I need less locks.
I don't know why I like
They-
that joke.
They look like I'm watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze.
Oh.
Those goddamn Toka and Razor. I think
What do
the
you pronounce
snapping turtle and
I think it's
the
a wolf. Yeah, I think it's a wolf.
Those things in '93 looked great. Those things in '94 look shitty.
Well, you know what's weird? They just went straight to Australia. They just grabbed two of those real animals and they just brought them on set.
That's the fakest shit I've ever seen. I've seen better looking costumes on the TV show Face Off. And they got sent home for that. I'm like, man, that's still better looking than anything the Time Machine put out.
We should have talked about it too on our book episodes. It's based on a book. Eloys live the perfect life, but here's the catch, right? They eat fruit, all this different stuff, perfect existence. But every once in a while, Morlock gets to eat some of them.
Yeah.
Would
They
you
do.
take that life? Would you be an Eloy and be like, oh, you know what? I have a great life, but
If,
Crate might be gone.
If I could die so I don't have to be a part of this movie, then yeah.
Ah.
I don't know why you're making me watch shitty movies, man.
Well, that's why.
Hey, Brandon, watch Time Machine. Why don't you rewatch Waterworld? God,
I liked
shitty
Waterworld, all right?
fucking movies.
Like Waterworld.
Why don't you just go back and
watch?
watch Dennis Quaid movies?
You'll never know how to get to dry land if you don't watch Waterworld.
Woo!
There's no
Fuck off with that.
paper, but we all have cigarettes.
Movie's garbage. So bad.
Man, see, I don't even know how we get on these crazy tangents. What were we talking about? You went Time Machine.
We were
Guy
talking
Pearce.
about Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Oh, very funny. Craig Robinson's in it.
John Cusack, Rob Corddry,
Codroy.
thank you. Clark Duke, Lizzie.
Clark Duck.
I don't give two fucks.
Stuck.
Lizzie Kaplan.
Lizzie.
She's not the rapper.
Alizé.
Sebastian Stan.
Oh, really?
Crispin
he plays-
Glover.
He plays the ski dude that's a dick that beats the guy up.
And Crispin Glover, another time travel guy from Back
Playing
to
a-
the Future.
Playing a weird guy.
And Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase is maybe his best thing he's done in the last 20 years. Besides Community, which I love. Community's a great show.
Well, I mean, he can't do anything now. He turned into a giant racist.
Did he turn into one? Or was
Well,
it when
that's
he
right.
made fun of
It
Richard
just finally
Pryor?
came out. Good movie. I mean, I like that they're chilling in a hot tub and it's a time machine.
I watched that movie
That was
recently.
goofy.
God, it's still funny. I love when he talks shit. He's like, I got my friends coming. They don't come up. He gets the shit beat out of him again.
Yeah.
It's funny.
We have comments and questions and oodles of them.
Just a comment.
Oodles of them.
This one.
Comments.
Like 100. Okay.
So Andre the Giant. So he played Fezzik, who strong giant. Oh, what? No, not Princess Bride related. Oh, I thought it was from you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Rick and Morty was just brought up, specifically the
very good.
episode where Rick made Morty a save point remote, where he could rewind to the past to redo an event if he didn't like the outcome.
So who gave us that comment?
Daniel, and I don't know if it's Bakley or Backley.
It's Bazakli.
I was gonna say, why you didn't tell us? You name expert? You fucking.
It's Daniel.
Oh, my bad.
So Rick and Morty is based off of Back to the Future.
Yep.
Morty and Marty and Rick is that guy's Doc Brown. I think his name is Emmett Brown. I can't remember.
It is
Okay.
with the dog Einstein.
Dog Einstein. It is a twisted version of Back to the Future. So it's very
It's more
funny.
tame. I haven't seen any of them fuck their mom.
New season just came out. I won't spoil it for you. But yeah, no, that's so funny you brought that up. I forgot to mention that. So they went to a spot where it's like 1,000 of these different guys. It's like a Western version where he goes, "Oh, geez, Rick, look, they were cowboys."
That's right.
And he's like, Jesus, Morty, act like you've been here before. So they do all this
God, I
different
love that
stuff.
show.
They said that they wanted to put in a version that was Marty McFly and Doc Brown as like a wink and a nod to the fans. They had that in a storyboard, but they had to cut it for time. So that's as much as that they had it. A crazy old doctor, which, by the way, I don't know where his parents are, that they let Marty hang out with a guy that has plutonium and he's a doctor that does crazy experiments.
He's a teenager, man. Plus, he was going to the lake house.
This is my best friend, an 80-year-old crazy
He was
time
going
traveling
to the lake
scientist.
house. Like, he's at the lake house. I think they ended with, "Oh, you're back from the lake house." That's how they end the third one. If you don't trust me, go watch it. I did.
Okay, my bad. But yeah, no, so that's
I
really funny
can.
time, Rick and Morty. Time travel, that's a big episode. His little portal gun, them going back in time. I don't know if they do it too much. I'm sure there's an episode where they do it. But that is awesome. Great call back to
Great
Rick and
TV
Morty.
show,
Forgot
right?
about
That's
that.
a great TV show.
Oh, you talked about the CW. Can I switch gears a little bit? Or do you want to talk about time? You want to talk about time machine more?
Let's switch gears.
Waterworld. So this is no, I'm just kidding.
All right, I guess we're talking about trash.
There's a movie that a lot of people haven't seen that I wanted to recommend called Time Lapse. Time Lapse has Daniel Panabaker, which is from Flash, the TV show, which someone mentioned. She plays the scientist in it, ironically. And what happens is they live in these apartments, and a neighbor of theirs passes away. They can tell his mail's filling up, his garbage, nothing's changing. They go to check on him. They see a giant machine in his room. They see all these pictures, and they see all the dates on them. He goes like, "Oh, okay, I don't get it." And then they see one from tomorrow on the ground. They're like, "Wait, hold on. Does this mean that this takes a photo of tomorrow of whatever this camera's pointing at?" So they kind of figure out that's what's going on. One guy's like, "Sweet, dude, we can gamble with this. I'll bet on the horse races." So he starts doing that, gets into trouble with bookies and gangsters. There's like a couple really good twists in it, but I would recommend Time Lapse if you guys haven't seen it. An independent film that crushed. I mean, really good, surprisingly good. Definitely check out Time Lapse.
Let me ask you this: if you could travel back in time or in the future,
Yeah.
would you try to change your life, make it better? Grab a sports almanac.
This is what I would do. Enjoy your hair. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it, bro.
I would do whatever I can to become rich. I don't care.
A sports almanac, so you're doing the Marty McFly?
I would do it.
You're doing the Biff?
Absolutely. I would do the Biff.
You'd be Biff Tanner with your own casino.
Oh yeah.
Your $100 bills,
Ruining
like
a
cigars.
city. I don't know if I'd be that bad, but yeah, I'd freaking buy a sports almanac and get rich.
I don't know. What would you do if you could time travel? I know.
I just told you.
I'm not done.
Okay.
If you could time travel in the past and do anything you wanted.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
I would make a time machine and then travel to the future and then make myself rich.
Interesting.
present.
How would you do that? Well, here's the thing.
With a train.
If you time traveled, I mean, you could just go back 40 years and invest in whatever company you still remember. I remember talking to my brother about
I could go back a year and invest in sanitizer and toilet.
You could just hoard it. And everyone's like, hey, man, can I have some toilet paper? Like, yeah, for $1,000. Or you sleeves.
Yeah, there's no way I'm not investing in Perel. I'd go back and just skip 10 years, invest in like iTunes and
What's
Apple
this guy
or
doing
whatever.
investing in face
Microsoft.
masks? Trust me.
Just trust
I have an idea.
Everybody's gonna want it.
That is true. Would you go back in time and try to fix something? There's a good show starring James Franco about where he tries to go back in time and stop the Kennedy assassination. It was on Hulu. It's actually pretty good, based on a Stephen King book.
Stephen King?
Yep. And he tries to stop the JFK assassination. That's what he does with the time machine. Very good book, by the way, Paradox Bound. Very well done book. If you guys...
We already did our book episode. No more books, man.
Okay. Really like it. It's good. Go check it out. Paradox
What would you do, real quick? What would you do?
I mean, probably... It's
Quicker.
ironic you're asking me this week, and what would I do for the time machine?
Go back and fix your hangover. Go back and invite me to your house.
Oh,
for
that's
once.
so funny.
Make
God.
your wife not hate me.
There's no machine that can do that. I'm not killing my wife for you. I don't know what I do, to be honest. I mean, you want to go back to some certain events and see what's going on. I think it'd be funny if, like, I'm sure I've seen this joke when someone goes back to see what kills the dinosaurs, and there's just like a giant alien just killing them all.
Oh, you're thinking of Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell. There was.
How about We're Back? That's a time travel movie with dinosaurs. John Goodman?
That's true.
Dude, these tie-ins, I'm crushing it right now.
All right, we got a comment. Speaking of time.
Oh, shit. All right.
Comment. She's just watching Princess Bride over there.
Austin Burnett said that he'd invest in Disney.
Fuck yeah. I mean, God, what a monopoly. I think that Disney went back in time and made... How do you know it didn't happen? I think that guy's like, you know what?
Because I haven't seen it on a Simpsons episode.
Disney time traveling?
Yeah.
Well,
They predict everything.
he owns
They
Simpsons.
predict Trump being president.
They made the episode.
They
They
did
got rid of
that.
this.
They are like, we're going to tell them the truth. They won't believe it.
Dude, invest in Disney. I'd say if you went back in 50 years and you're like, well, what do you want to invest in? You're like, apricot spray? Didn't hear about it. You go through it and you're like, Coca-Cola. I bet it does okay. You want some Buzz Pop? I definitely don't.
I would do Pepsi because apparently in Back to the Future, Pepsi is perfect.
I have a Pepsi free. And nothing's free here, Jack. When the guy's mad at him,
That's
the
right.
owner.
And in the future, it's Pepsi perfect. And then it's whiskey.
The hover,
And the third
the
one.
hoverboard too. I mean, that's pretty iconic. You got to talk about. I'm trying to think of the scenes in Back to the Future that you remember the most.
The Nikes? That self-tie.
Oh yeah, and they made those
They
like 2 years
released
ago.
special edition Nikes that I did not pay a boatload of money.
And they'll send us some because we missed them on our podcast.
Nike. Please be small.
So talk about time lapse. I liked it so much. Go ahead. Hit us with it, Jory.
Two more movies were brought up: Bill and Ted and Austin Powers.
Oh, we got to talk about Bill and Ted.
I thought we did already. We did at the beginning.
Briefly. Wild Stallions. George Carlin comes back in time. They have to
I love George Carlin.
pass their history test. So what do you want to do? Study or go check this shit out?
Who wouldn't choose that option, right?
Even the second one, I think it's what's the second one called? It's Bogus Adventure.
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause
Bogus
it's
Journey?
Excellent and Adventure, and then Bogus Journey, I think, and then I don't know what the new one's gonna be called.
Speaking of that, they're making another one. Keanu Reeves
they
is coming
are.
back.
They
How
both
cool is
come
that?
back.
Wild Stallions. I don't know they come back and they have beards like ZZ Top and they're playing music.
Alex Winters.
We'll have to practice for a long time. So unless I already went back in time, and I play something in the ceiling to help me out right now.
I
A
think
key.
they're gonna have kids in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, first one's really good.
Traveling through a
Funny.
phone booth.
It's good. Second one, it's
You don't like the mutants, the geniuses that they take? They can split into two and then they grow into a big mutant,
So
a
anyway,
Morlock.
It's a movie. It's there.
Austin Powers 2, The Spy Who Shagged Me. Fat Bastard stealing his mojo in the past, so he doesn't have it in the future.
They all just kind of time travel.
No.
I mean, Goldmember he travels back.
I think oh shit, maybe you're right. Maybe that's time travel in all of them.
because that's when Beyonce, Knowles, and Goldmember turn up.
Fuck, does he time travel? in all
Solid
of them?
gold, baby.
I know Beyonce was in that movie. It's crazy. He's eating the skin off his shoulders. Right next to him is Beyonce. All right, that's enough of that. You got another comment,
Right,
Jordy?
next team.
Time Cop was brought up.
Oh my God, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
Time Cop. How funny. Man, that was like in Jean-Claude's like he had another one called I think like Double Death or Double Dare or something where there's two of them. Very Jean-Claude Van Damme-esque. I'm sure he does the splits in it, and I'm sure he kicks a lot of people in the
He
face.
does the splits in the air and twirls and kicks everybody. Back to the past.
JCVD, Time Cop. I mean, you could also probably do the one. I think that's time. Maybe that's not time. No, they jump different realities. With Jet Li, Jason Statham.
Yeah.
My bad. That's not true.
I
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, yeah.
Time Cop. How funny. I haven't seen Time Cop in so long. I mean, it's very Waterworld-esque.
Oh, so it's trash.
Good.
Garbage.
No. Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me. I love the jokes they have, too, where he comes back and Time Traveler's like, wow, you look so young. It's Rob Lowe. And he looks, Frau, what's her name? Madam, who screams all the time.
I know who you're talking about.
And she's like, oh, yeah? And you're there. So, cool. Great,
Cool.
groovy. Great to see you.
I mean, it's Austin Powers. I mean, they're great. I really like Austin Powers.
I think we did one where we did throwback comedies. We did Wayne's World. We didn't do Austin
We
Powers.
did not. We chose not to. We did a Throwback Thursday 90s.
I would watch the sequel to Austin Powers, by the way. They blasted the last one saying it was a money grab for Mike Myers. I thought it was really funny. Seth
Goldmember?
Green? Yeah.
I really like Goldmember.
I thought it was funny. Fat Bastard was hilarious. Come here, Dougie. Dougie?
My
Okay.
brother.
Dougie, I don't know. Is that my name? So funny.
Yeah, I liked them all.
Mini-Me, pissed off, switches sides. Guacamole. I mean, how do you not like that movie? Fred Savage in that guy, too. Yeah, Time Cop. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Got some homework to do. We gotta watch some JCVD. I would do an episode just on Jean-Claude Van
Oh,
Damme.
Jesus.
Lionheart?
I think-
of the jungle.
I think our episode's winding down right now. When we start
Nah.
talking about Jean-Claude
Let's get some
Van
more
Damme.
Jean-Claude going, my
Let's
man.
not. Let's get
Muscles from
less.
Brussels.
Let's time travel back so we can erase his question and not ever bring up Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm getting close to the end of this. I have one more I want to bring up. Do you have any more?
I want to bring up the one you want to bring up, but I'll let you bring it up first.
Okay. There are problems in time travel movies, and the problem is you
What?
have to make. I'm sorry, spoiler. You have to make time travel hard. You have to make it problematic, or you could always go back in time and fix something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Baby Hitler. Deadpool 2 also had time travel, by the way. We should talk about that a little bit.
It did. We did. I mean, it's a great movie.
It's a great
Flawless, I would say.
Wow. He shoots himself in the head so he doesn't play Green Lantern. I mean, how do you not laugh at a guy
That's
talking
great.
about how terrible his own movies are?
That's great.
I
I love that movie. I do.
tie into next week's episode we're doing, which is a Harry Potter episode. We have our buddy Jordan Eames is coming back. He already looks like Hagrid, so I hope he pulls the trigger and goes.
And you
full
already
Hagrid.
look like Voldemort.
Sorry.
You look like you're guarding the bank at Gringotts.
Jordy, don't laugh so hard at that, please. I don't know what those things are. Are they goblins?
They're called Dannies.
That's fucked up, man.
Hey, I just want to get in my bank. I have a chamber of secrets, and you're in the way.
Your asshole. Yeah. So in that movie, they have time travel. By the way, I haven't seen all of them. I'm barreling through them, trying to watch as much as I can to get a good idea on it. She has a device that lets her time travel, which is called
Necklace.
It's the time traveler.
the time traveler, and his wife, and she goes back in time. What does she use this for? Does she save Harry's parents? Does she do all this sort of stuff? Does she?
Why would she save Harry's parents?
Why don't you help? Why don't you help? You have a time machine. She uses it to go to multiple classes.
Yes, that's what she was giving it for.
Remember when you were asking me what I would do if I can go back in time, and I thought about it? It would never be to go to more classes. Fucking
Yeah, but
never.
she's a mudblood in a goddamn wizarding world. You know, we'll talk about this Sunday.
Time ticker?
Time Turner.
Time turner.
Like the company? Time Turner?
Time
Anyway.
yeah, so that to me was a misuse of time travel. All the movies we're going through, I mean, of course you can find plot holes.
You know
in
what a
them.
misuse of my time was? The Time Traveler. The Time Machine.
You gotta watch. It's a classic.
You gotta watch it. Put that in the garbage.
You
next
can't
to
do
Waterworld
a time
and
travel
Slender Man.
episode and you not watch something called The Time Machine.
I absolutely can. I would have preferred it. Thank you.
I have a Harry Potter movie you have to watch for next week, by the way. Time Machine 2.
Oh, I'll watch it, all right.
Jordy, how's our poll doing? We got some votes on there. You guys, if you haven't voted yet, go ahead and take our poll. See what's your favorite time machine. We got the hot tub time machine.
Phone booth.
We got the phone booth from Bill and Ted.
Apparently
That's
from
one
Doctor
picture.
Who as well.
TARDIS.
Jesus.
Yeah, I always knew that. Fix that in editing. We've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and
we
have
got the other.
and the other, which you could have wrote in TARDIS if you wanted, or something else. You could wrote in The Time Machine, Brand's favorite movie, and that could also win.
Guy Pearce is not good of an actor.
I loved Lockout. That was so good. He reminded me of Ryan Reynolds in it. All right,
Why don't we go ask your boss what he thought of it?
he didn't care for it.
Exactly.
He didn't finish it.
He needs to watch Looper.
He does need to watch Looper. All right, how did our poll do?
We have a tie,
Ooh,
a three-way tie.
that's
Well,
awkward.
it ain't gay then.
It ain't gay if it's in a three-way.
It's Lonely Island.
Mm-hmm.
Hot Tub, DeLorean, and other all tied with 33%.
You fuck a phone booth.
Um,
Okay.
There was two that were mentioned in the comments. The remote from Click.
Fair enough. Literally a rewind button, fast forward button. Fair enough.
Yes.
Pretty simple. Even you'd be able to use it.
And
I'd use mute
You troll.
on you.
the bubble from Terminator.
The time bubble, when you go through and you appear naked on the
I
ground.
think at the beginning of the episode you called it a tube.
Yeah. Because they bounce off, and the friction wears their clothes off. Which, by the way, doesn't even make sense. If you could send back a metal person, why can't you send back clothes? They hate cotton in these
Speaking
time
of
machines?
Bubbles, Bubble Boy, Jake Gyllenhaal, go watch it.
That's not a thing. Don't watch that. You watch
It's
time
damn
travel
straight a movie.
movies. No, don't do
Tell
it.
me it's not a fucking thing.
So the one that was left out was the phone booth from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Fair enough. It's an older movie too. It's in the 80s.
Plus, you have to squeeze everybody in when you bring it back for your project.
Also, people probably thought that you meant the TARDIS and put it incorrectly, so they didn't vote for it.
Oh.
Yeah, screw voting for the TARDIS.
That was hilarious. We're all just struggling. We have a podcast about movies. What do you know about it? Not much.
I know like 3 movies.
Yeah. Back to the Future. Eric Stoltz got fucked. Don't be Eric Stoltz. Find your dreams. Be Michael J. Fox. Fuck someone out of their job so you can have your dream job. And make a Western out
You
of it.
heard that. There's room for this podcast. Just fuck one of us.
Okay. What is that?
Is that not what you said?
No! The wife's right there.
She doesn't watch. She's too busy watching Princess Bride.
Oh, we got more comments, questions? All right, we're heading about out the door here.
I've already got
Chrissy
one
just
for that.
said that nothing could be traced to the future, no mistakes could be made, so that's why they're Nike.
Oh,
That's her theory on
very good. Like you can't bring nothing back.
Mhm.
You drop an iPhone now.
Yeah,
it.
there you
Makes
go.
sense.
Very good.
Smart comment.
Look at that. Look at we got the smartest viewers. I swear.
That's right.
I got a semi-okay podcast host.
Oh, now
No,
we
don't
have
talk about yourself.
a three-way tie at 29% for those three and a 14% for the phone booth.
I love it. Great. A
God
three-way
damn it.
tie means that it was a good poll. Means people couldn't choose.
All right, but my vote is for the DeLorean.
DeLorean's classic. He even makes a joke in Back to the Future 2 where he's like, "Hey Doc, land it on top of his car and we'll crush it." And he's like, "This is a DeLorean. If we land on his car, we'll rip through ours like tinfoil."
There's a couple jokes. I think you couldn't pick a better car. You picked a DeLorean or something like that. They make
Yeah,
that.
and he's like, "I picked the best car. I picked a DeLorean." He's like, "Okay, he's good at time travel, not great at car choices." But now you can't see a DeLorean and not make a Back to the Future joke.
That's right. You cannot.
Absolutely iconic.
All right. Yep. So I picked the DeLorean. What do you pick?
The DeLorean, I'm going to go with the DeLorean. I got to
Alright.
go with it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's awesome. It's iconic. You can't be mad at it at all.
No.
Or actually, in other time machines where I'm going with. Such a great movie. All right, thank you guys so much
DeLorean's
for
still one.
thank you so much for watching our podcast, guys. Tune in next week. We're doing a Harry Potter episode with a special guest, Jordan Eames. We're gonna be swooping him in. Take care. Go
We
ahead.
have a
sign us off.
private jet getting him. So wait for that on your roof, buddy. All right. Yeah, that's it. And just remember, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Don't like that sign off.
I don't like your face.
All right.